A new poll from the nation's largest teachers union found that culture war attacks on public schools largely fell flat in the 2022 midterm elections, proving less important to voters than concerns about school shootings and traditional concerns over school funding. The findings reflect that while the idea of critical race theory fired up Republican-based voters, of course it did not significantly move persuadable voters in 2022. Quote, culture war issues do not resonate with independent voters much at all, the poll bluntly states. Look at this bar graph right here. No one likes charts, but we're gonna look at it anyway. So chart on motivation to vote against compared to previous years. The purple block there is people that were more motivated or enthusiastic, gray about the same, and red less motivated or enthusiastic. Based on the left side is people who see critical race theory favorably. 60% were more motivated to vote. Those who view critical race theory unfavorably, 62%, almost exactly the same. Less motivated, 8% on each side. Did not make a difference when it came to persuadable voters, despite how much the GOP really wants to cover up America's sordid past. Voters don't seem to want that. In fact, the survey found that a full 3/5 of midterm voters, and I don't feel like 3/5 should be used very often when talking about voters, but 3/5 of midterm voters said school shootings were a major factor in their vote, more than any other education issue. Voters placed far less importance on right-wing culture war topics. 43% were worried about schools teaching critical race theory to be politically correct, while 42% said they worried about indoctrination from radical left-wing teachers. But voters were notably more concerned about book bans and conservative attempts to censor history. 55%, clear majority, said a major concern for them was students not getting a complete, honest history of our country. You'd like to hear that. And an identical percentage, 55%, expressed worry about too many politicians banning books or topics that don't align with their personal beliefs, like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and the Holocaust. This is according to the HuffPost. So that's a little bit of promising development here. Since dividing our country gives Republicans their life source, they became reinvigorated about the prospect of the electoral potency of culture war attacks during the 2021 Virginia governor's race, when a host of education-related controversies helped now Governor Glenn Youngkin win. Before the 2022 midterms, there were clear signs the GOP was struggling to turn the education culture wars into a winning issue. But just 1.7% of Republican ads mentioned CRT, according to the Wesleyan Media Project. A September memo from the Republican National Committee told GOP campaigns they needed to connect culture war issues to existing voter concerns. Oh, that's an idea, including pandemic era learning loss. Weird, the GOP is just realizing you might want to connect the issues that we're pushing to existing voter concerns. Like it's a novel idea. Hey guys, wait a minute. I just had a thought. Maybe we should actually care what the voters care about and should talk about that and try to fix that instead of making up garbage ourselves and pushing it on people because we like to cry about stuff that doesn't even really exist. Voters are most worried about the mass shootings in schools, but that of course did not stop the NRA from posting a disgusting Christmas tweet. NRA posting, "Merry Christmas from the NRA, America's longest standing civil rights organization. We hope Santa brought you all the guns and ammo." So much to pick apart here. First of all, while we have it on screen, look at the logo. Look at the logo. It's an American eagle carrying 2 guns. That is not proper gun storage. That is not proper gun safety. You don't let your eagles fly with your weaponry. You keep your eagles locked in a gun safe and you let your weapons stay out so the family can encounter them randomly, drunkenly on the holidays. Everybody knows that. So they got that twisted. But the more audacious part than even wishing guns and ammo on the general populace is calling themselves a civil rights organization. That is gross. At Slow Noma Guy tweeting back to the NRA. And how about wishing a Merry Christmas to all the victims of senseless gun violence who would still be alive today if not for your relentless and indefensible support of gun violence in our country? Well said, well said. This disgusting organization, some organizations that just fund themselves constantly and lobby relentlessly should not even be offered bankruptcy protections. This group got to declare bankruptcy and look, they're back strong yet again. Who didn't see that coming? Jackson, what are your thoughts here? Culture war issues, CRT not resonating, the NRA being the group of dicks they always are.
Well, I think that, the biggest thing is we definitely saw here in the 2022 midterm elections, the Republican Party forgets that people outside of the deep bubble who aren't highly politicized, people who don't watch Fox News all day long, don't care about those types of issues. And even people on our side can forget that too. With a lot of the hot issues that we talk about are people within the space who have influence. We can forget that normies don't really think about these things, or normies don't even really know who a lot of these people maybe that we talk about are. But it's obviously to no surprise, but it's having detrimental effects on the Republican Party's future, which we can see them attempting to address with people like Ron DeSantis. Let's get Trump out of here. Now, obviously, they're not quite identifying the real issue, which is that the party itself isn't focused on issues at all. But you see them scrambling because they're noticing that they're not winning elections as much as they should be, as much as they naturally would be. Things swing back and forth all the time in midterm elections, but it really didn't do it this time. So, they just forgot that, but we can forget it too.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.